Hello everybody and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. As always, thank you for the likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. I do appreciate that. And hopefully you're enjoying the content that I've been putting up in regards to my customs and that JD and I have been doing in regards to general geekery, as we're doing a month-long spotlight on awesome customizers. I got asked a question recently when I was going to do a new Joy Toy figure review. As I mentioned recently, I have demobilized from working overseas. I'm not in Ukraine, I'm not in Africa, I'm not in South America anymore. I am home working on a regular ambulance, so I had to take a significant pay cut to do that. So I've really been watching my toy budget recently and spending most of it on customizing stuff. So Joy Toy stuff's kind of expensive, and this year they're putting out just a shit ton of mechs. I do love a good mech, and I've seen some people complain that the new 1/18 scale mechs, the cockpit just seems to be an afterthought. And with all they're putting out, even if I was getting them all, I don't know what I would do with them all. There's just so much stuff. So I haven't been getting any of the new Joy Toy stuff. And I've definitely been an advocate of them using the same bucks because they have good paint jobs. So it's amazing what you can do with just a little bit of paint to make a figure look like a new one. But at the same time, that's what killed it for me with Hasbro, was just repainting the same stuff over and over again. So as many times as I've said that Joy Toy does do a good job of repaints and making it look like a brand new figure, at the end of the day, it does get a bit old. So I do intend to continue to send Joy Toy money as long as they put out some new stuff that I really like. And then of course a lot of my toy money went to the Marauder Task Force Vietnam Kickstarter, which you saw the interview with Marauder John on the General Geekery podcast, which is on the channel here if you haven't seen it. And holy shit, that was amazing. They unlocked 26 stretch goals, I think, and funded everything that they had planned. I've never seen a Kickstarter where they funded everything that they had planned, where they're like, nah, we ain't got anything else to throw at you. This is it. This is everything. So I think that's fantastic, and I am looking forward to seeing those figures in approximately the spring of 2023. I know they pushed the release date back simply because they had such an overwhelming response that it was going to take longer to get everything made. I'm all right with that. Marauder John has a good track record of getting Kickstarters out to people. I've backed 2 or 3 of them myself and have gotten all my stuff every time. I have no doubt and no fear that these will make it out. So I did not hesitate to back that Kickstarter. I backed it for 12 figures. Boy, I'm going to have a hard time picking which 12 I want. I may have to throw in a couple, an extra 50 or $100 on top of this to get a couple of the figures that I want. We'll see. But that doesn't mean I stopped reviewing new stuff. Because I do still get new toys. Some of the recent acquisitions that I've gotten is most of the Iron Man wave for the Marvel Legends, the Stealth Iron Man, the modular armor. What else came out in that? The Riri Williams Iron Heart and the holographic armor. I thought about reviewing those, but I don't know. There's a lot of people that do Marvel Legends reviews, so there's probably people that do it better than I do. And it's, a lot of people are burned out on Iron Man figures. I am not one of those. I love Iron Man, so I had to have those figures. My only thing that I didn't like about these new figures is they came with 2 sets of interchangeable hands, and none of them had wrist articulation, which is kind of a first. There's one set of fists and then one set of repulsor blast hands for those figures, which I thought is kind of a step backwards. So that's my only review on those Marvel Legends figures is and you know, mine go on display, so I mean it's not that big of a deal, but at the same time they're getting pricier and pricier, so I don't know. But for today, I'm going to do probably 2 reviews because I think that's what I've got ready, and this will be the review of the Predator figures from Hiya Toys. We've had mixed reviews on those before, because number one, the detail is fantastic. The paint applications are amazing, but the joints have not been very good on these. I've busted an ankle on one, which was replaced, thankfully, from I think Big Bad Toy Store did it through Hiya Toys. I don't remember, but I got it replaced at any rate. So if you're breaking these things, just get in touch with whoever you bought it from, whether that's Big Bad Toy Store or Locker Toys, and you should be able to get it replaced. The one we're going to do first is the Jungle Hunter Water Emergence figure. Kind of getting a reflection of my computer because I'm using it as a phone stand here. 3 things I always review: the packaging and playability and customizability. Packaging's pretty nice. I do like window boxes. I might keep the boxes, actually. Probably won't. I was thinking about doing a couple customs where I need boxes about this size, but I think it'd actually be a pain in the ass to do that, to use this box. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep one and just see. Packaging's really nice. So, I mean, if you're a mint and box collector, the one nice thing about this type of packaging is it stacks well. It's easily packed. It's hard to damage, and you can still see your figure. So I'll give them props for if you're a mint box collector, because this is a good way to do that. On the back, we've got a couple of pictures of the figure, and then the movie logo Predator. So this is one of the movie, the original movie, the Schwarzenegger movie. All right, I haven't even opened this yet, so it's kind of an unboxing then too, huh? All right, let's see what we've got here. And if the joints are too hot, I'll just pause, or too stiff, I'll pause it and run down to my customizing area and heat them up. So what's in the box? They've got a little insert with the Predator helmet, which is pretty cool. I think most of them have kind of art like that. I end up just throwing it away because I don't know what else I would do with it. And then we have pictures of upcoming stuff, which is Lost Predators, Scout Predator, Shaman Predator, and on the back it's City Hunter, Guardian Predator, Shadow Predator, Boar Predator, Warrior Predator, and Elder Predator. Man, I've not been able to keep up with this. I don't remember the Lost Predator at all. I don't know if I have one, because there's usually a couple versions of, and these do get re-released fairly quickly. Or not fairly quickly, but they do get re-released if they sell out. So I actually don't know if I have these, if I've seen these. I don't remember the Lost Predator name at all. I've been getting mine through Big Bad Toy Store, just because I'm in no hurry to get these. So Big Bad Toy Store always gets their stuff way after everybody else does. So if you're in a hurry to get this, I'd probably recommend Locker Toys, but they tend to sell out of pre-orders on the Predator stuff pretty quickly from what I've noticed. So that's what's in the box. The figure itself comes in a clamshell case there. and is semi-translucent. And as JD and I have talked about on the podcast, he and I are both suckers for translucent figures. All right, the plastic feels a little softer on this than my last Predators that I reviewed, probably a couple years ago by now. I've been doing this a while now. So what do we have on the figure? We have the shoulder blaster. I can't tell if it's articulated. I don't think that it is. I think it's fixed. I'm not going to try and push it. He has a necklace right up here. Trying to get this in focus there. And then like I'll call it a bandolier almost, that's clearly made out of vertebrae. The tendrils of his hair are very flexible. And let's see, head is articulated on, it's on a ball joint. Kind of the normal shoulder joints you'd expect in a 1/18 scale figure. Single joint at the elbow. And then the wrists are articulated. And yeah, the plastic is definitely softer on this figure, so I'm not worried about stuff breaking as much. And then the ankle joint is just a swivel now. They started out with rocker heels and double jointed knee, which is nice too. It started out with rocker heels, and that is what broke on my I don't remember if it was the first Predator movie or the second Predator movie. It was one of the big, like, very nice. It was one of the ones I really, really wanted. I never watched Aliens vs. Predator or anything actually after Predator 2. So I know some of those other Predators are from the other movies, but my idiot dogs. I know some of those other Predators are from Predator movies, but I always use the misnomer of saying this is the movie Predator because it was from the original movie. It does have flexible skirting along the waist, and then it's the water emergence, so it's in the middle of the movie where he's coming up out of the water is what they're trying to emulate here. I have in my collection, and I keep forgetting I have this thing actually. I have the Hot Toys Snap Kit. They're 1/18 scale water emergence Predator, which are really hard to get. I don't even remember how I got that thing. I think I got lucky and got it off of eBay for a decent price. I ended up putting it in a one of those figure clamshells that you see at like people selling their figures at conventions, and then attaching that to one of my custom cards just so I won't lose it, because it's a real hard figure to get, and I didn't want to break it because those Hot Toy Snap Kits are very prone to breakage. They're very fragile. I bought the set of Colonial Marines and Aliens Snap Kit. I bought the whole set one time. I think out of like the 5 or 6 Aliens that I got, I have one that's not broken now, and that may have broken actually. Now that I think about it, the Ripley broke before I even got a chance to put it together, and I think I tore the Marines apart for customs. So that's how it goes in this house. I'm not as bad as JD. JD will tear up anything and everything for customs. As will my buddy Jimbo, who is also a big fan of the Hiya Toys line. He and I were chatting about the RoboCop stuff coming out this morning. So this is a pretty decent figure, I think. I like the fact that it's a softer plastic and all the joints seem to be nice and soft, so nothing's going to break on this, I don't think. What else is in the box? Trying to get him to stand up here. And that's the playability is also definitely one of the other things that I talk about. And I think this is a very playable figure simply because of the fact that the plastic is soft enough that you're not going to have to worry about breaking it. It comes with a figure stand and these two little H clips. I think I'd done a video where I talked about what I didn't know what these clips were for. And somebody commented and told me they're for clipping the stands to other stands. These stands are big and unwieldy. I don't use them. I think I have a pile of them somewhere, and I think some of them have gotten thrown away. And I certainly couldn't tell you where all the H clips are. The other thing that comes in the box is a translucent human skull and spine. Although he doesn't have grippy hands, he has kind of splayed hands, and he does come with an extra set of hands. There we go. All right. So it does come with grippy hands. I call it grippy hands. And it looks like they have holes in the back, so you pop off the hand and put it on the peg. I'm not sure I like that. Oh no, there's a ball joint in there. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like the idea. I don't know how well it works. With the softer plastic, though, it may work pretty well. The reason I say that is those joints tend to be very fragile. But with the softer plastic, and it's like a dumbbell joint or a dumbbell in there. Well, normally it is. I don't think that it's like half a dumbbell on this. Yeah, with the with that dumbbell joint in there, they peg on pretty easily, and I think that it will be fairly resilient too. That was my phone ringing. Normally I don't answer if I don't recognize the number, but the area code that it came from is kind of where I work, so I'm curious to see if the boss was calling. I guess they'll leave a message. So there you go. Customizability. I'm not going to say there isn't any customizability to this. I'm going to say I don't know what you would do to it to customize it. Yeah, maybe some washes or something to bring out the sculpt a little bit. But I mean, it's supposed to be, active camouflage more or less. So, it's supposed to be hard to see. So I don't know that I have anything for customizability on this. I don't know that I would do anything to this. There's not any modifications that I would make to this figure to make it more playable either. I think this soft plastic is very nice. It's kind of almost like a rubbery feel to it. Very bendy. Normally I might be put off by that, but after having some of these figures be really stiff and having broken one that I'd been waiting for a really long time, it looks like there's looks like the neck is double jointed too. So there's a joint in the neck where it meets the torso, and there's a joint in the head where it attaches. So that's pretty cool. I didn't see that there. Like I was saying, I might be put off by the rubberiness of the plastic, but after having one break and others be extremely stiff, I think this is a good move. This is something that's, boy, I want to say it will age well, but I don't know how well this softer plastic ages. but it's not going to become brittle like Real American Hero G.I. Joe figures tend to over the years by using harder plastics. So while I wouldn't give it to kids to play with, I'm going to say that it's probably durable enough for maybe not kids for sure, but I'm pretty sure it says adults on the box. Anyone, 15 plus on the box. So yeah, that's a good age range. Anybody older than that's gonna know how to take care of their stuff, I think, and I think it will hold up. I think you'll get some decent playability with this. I think a lot of the times I go into my reviews just planning on giving it a good review anyway, just because I like, either the company or the figure, or it's something that I've wanted for a long time, so I'm happy to have it. But I definitely came into this review with a little bit of skepticism, just because I've had Hiya Toys stuff break. I bought some of the Batman stuff. Batman broke straight out of the box, an ankle, if I remember right. I didn't even take my Harlequin out because I didn't want to break it, and I've broken one Predator, and like I said, all the others were stiff. So I'm gonna give this a good review. Actually, I'm really impressed. I think that it's a lot more durable. It's gonna be a lot more playable, and it's not gonna break straight out of the box. I'm not gonna say that it isn't gonna break, because people have bad luck with stuff, but I think they have done a good job with this. I was expecting it to be a lot more stiff and a lot harder plastic, and had to expect that it would break. The ankles, not keen on the ankle joint, which was something my buddy Jimbo talked about. He and I were talking about this morning, that he's not getting the Predator since they've switched to, he calls it a boot joint, which I think is pretty accurate. But at the same time, it kind of relieves some of the fragileness of the figure. All right, so that is the Water Emergence Predator from the first movie. What else do I have here? Let's see if I can. He doesn't stand too well, and if this is going to be one of those things. If you have display lights, like I have a bunch of stuff in Deltoff cabinets, and I don't leave the lights the IKEA lights on very long, because they get very, very hot, and they soften up the plastic, specifically in my Marvel Legends Iron Man figures, and then they get wobbly joints, and then one goes down, and then it's like dominoes. So this is going to be one of those ones that's going to kind of get all gooey if it gets too warm, and it's not going to be able to stand. He doesn't want to stand right now. Boy, I don't know how. Let's see how he does on the display, actually. And one of the things I didn't like previously was the figure stands, because number one, they're too big. They're just too big and clunky, and the pegs are a different size than what G.I. Joe uses. It looks like a 3mm peg, and I think G.I. Joe uses a 4. If I'm wrong, correct me. Yeah, he stands a lot better on the figure stand. So maybe I'll actually keep the figure stands for these guys. I don't know. All right, so that is the Water Emergence Predator. The Jungle Hunter Water Emergence Predator. So yes, from the Schwarzenegger movie. I kind of wish I hadn't carded my Schwarzenegger Dutch Custom before these things started coming out, so I could do some nice dioramas. Maybe I'll have to make a second one at some point in time. Alright, so I'm not planning on keeping the boxes. So what else do we have here? Active Camouflage Falconer. I believe this is Aliens versus Predator, or maybe it's Alien Predator Requiem. I don't know. Like I said, I stopped paying attention to it after the second Predator movie, and like everybody I know didn't like Aliens versus Predator. So yeah, Active Camouflage. Falconer Predators. It says Predators, so that was the movie with Adrian Brody, I think, in it. And I'm pretty sure that's the logo for it, and that's what's on the back, as well as 2 pictures of the figure, and then just the movie logos on the box. Kind of want to see it just to see, learn a little bit more about it, but at the same time, everybody I know says it was shit. I think like one of my friends said it wasn't too bad. Interior art just looks like his the laser on his shoulder, and the insert is the same as what came with the Jungle Predator water emergence figure. So that's what's in the box. What comes with the figure is look at the accessories first. So of course, figure stand with the H clips. I guess we could put those together since I have more than one in one spot to see how it works. Get rid of these clips from this package. Accessories. So comes with a trophy skull, which is kind of nice. I don't know what to do with these things. I think they're really cool, but I'm not a diorama builder, unfortunately. I wish I was, but I think they'd be fantastic for dioramas. But I don't do dioramas, so. And then he comes with the extra hand one is a fist. They're both fists. And the hands are splayed. So, maybe not the best on that. Plastic seems to be maybe just slightly harder plastic than the Jungle Hunter Predator, but it's still pretty soft. And this is the Active Camouflage. Elbow joints are a little stiff. Shoulder joints are a little stiff. The armor is definitely like the soft rubbery plastic, and the skirting as well, which is attached to thigh armor, and he does have some armor pieces on his lower legs as well. Theoretically, you could take that off if you wanted to, because it's really soft. A little heat pop off the legs and you could pull it off. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could if you wanted to. And you hear a little pop as the joint loosens. Articulation's not the best at the hip. There we go. Ooh. There we go. It's a little tight in the hips on mine. And does he have mid-torso articulation? Yeah, it looks. Oh, he's got. See, I don't know if that one had mid. That one, the other one had mid-torso. There we go. So yes, this has mid-torso articulation and waist articulation. Not sure that the Water Hunter had waist articulation. Well, I don't know. I don't think that it does. It's kind of hard to see. No, the Jungle Hunter definitely does not have waist articulation. It just has a mid-torso joint. But this has waist and mid-torso joint, so it has better articulation, which I kind of like. Still not real keen on like the boot joint that my buddy Jimbo was talking about, but it's not horrible either. Playability on this, I think these are. I'm a little nervous about those hip joints. I just broke a hip joint on a Hellboy 2 figure last night. It's not anything I can't repair, but it's just annoying as all hell. Let's see. Let's look at his head. Does he have the... Yeah, it looks like the double jointed hip, neck and head. Playability, I'd still be careful with it. This one doesn't feel as playable as the other one. I don't know why. I think it's the hip joints that have me a little worried, because it's really tight in the hips. The rest of it, it's double jointed knees. The rest of it seems pretty decent. Again, it's pretty soft plastic. I don't think anything's gonna break, aside from maybe those hip joints. Figure itself's pretty cool. Little like airbrush to paint apps here and there. Customizability, again, you know, I think if you had a talent for painting and could paint, you know, like kind of the electrical pattern that washes over the Predator, especially like when it's in the water or when there's like little flaws in its camouflage. I think you could do some pretty cool stuff with that, but that's above even what I would try, above my skill level. So if you're a fairly new customizer, you might want to just leave this one alone. And yeah, look how wobbly that joint is. While it is wobbly, I'm gonna say you're probably not gonna break it though. But definitely not as high a review as Hiya review. Definitely not as impressed with this as I am with the Jungle Hunter, although the waist articulation is a nice feature, which the Jungle Predator doesn't have. And the hands, because he's got the splayed hands, and he's got, can't see him, but he's got fists, so he can't hold anything. He doesn't come with any weapons, except the like single gauntlet blade. And you know, it's on there. It's not sculpted on there. It's so if you took the hand off, you could remove it, which I think is kind of nice. I'd hate to have something like sculpted on and then break off. But as soft as this is, I don't think you're gonna break it. So customizability, really, like I said, I don't think there's much that you could do to it other than maybe adding some paint apps to make the active camouflage look a little better. But all in all, I do like it though. I have ordered the others that are in active camouflage and a few of the ones that are invisible, because I do like the clear figures. So hit or miss on this one, I guess. If you're not a huge Predator fan, I'd say probably skip it. I would get one of the active camouflage Predators. You know, if you've got a favorite, I think they're making active camouflage and invisible versions of each one of the specific Predators, from what I can tell. So if you've got a favorite, I would say you'd probably be okay just to get one of each of your favorites. So the normal version, the active camouflage, and the invisible. And for the last one we're going to look at is the Active Camouflage Tracker Predator. Same box, except with the different pictures on the back. So again, the packaging's nice for mint and box collectors. It's very stackable. Ooh, those hands are gonna get lost though. Good grief, I just thought of that. I'm gonna have to put those somewhere. Probably put them in with, I've got a tackle box, fishing tackle box that I keep like all my Joy Toy extra weapons and joints in. I'll probably put them in there. Although I think I have one with Predator stuff somewhere. Tackle boxes are a good way to keep track of your stuff. What's in the box, same stuff as the last time. It's the same, exact same packaging, just with different pictures on the front and the back. Clamshell's the same. Trying to make sure this doesn't pop and spray parts everywhere. I had that happen with a Rebel Tech. I bought the Rebel Tech Deadpool, and I opened it on the kitchen counter right behind me, and the one hand that holds the gun in his right hand went flying into an alternate dimension. No idea where that went. Never found it. I don't think the dogs weren't close. I don't think one of the dogs ate it, although they might have. But I tore the kitchen apart. I mean, I pulled the stove out, I pulled the refrigerator out. Gone, like a fart in the wind. It comes with a stand with H clips. While we get a second here, let's just curious how this works. I think. I'm not actually sure how that works. I thought it would clip in the bottom, but it hangs out below. Oh, I think I see how it is. Yeah, no. They're not an H clip. It's an I clip, clearly. Silly of me. It's in the shape of an I, not an H. There you go. So yeah, you can put them all together. And they do have like terrain sculpted to them. So I mean, they're kind of cool in that regard. So it would be pretty easy to like make a diorama with these things, which is kind of neat. What one was that? Was the Falconer Predator just whammed over. So yeah, there you go. So I mean, you could dry brush that. You could repaint it, dry brush it, and put some a little bit of wash on there. Take you, like spray paint it or something, base color, then do dry brush and then some washes, and it'd be a real nice diorama piece with just a little bit of effort. So there's your customizability. For me, the figure stands are useless because they're too big. These guys are going to go on a display, which will be my USS flag. I put all of my cool figures from every genre on the deck of my complete USS flag, so people can just stand there and see, ooh, that's cool, ooh, that's cool, ooh, that's cool, ooh, that's cool. So you can just stand there and look at it for half an hour and find cool figures. I met a lady that had a huge G.I. Joe collection one time, and that's what she did. She had a custom Jabba's sail barge built. You got another skull in the package. I want to do that Mike Tyson now kiff. Sorry. She had a custom Jabba sail barge decades before HasLab did it, and she had figures from every genre on it. It was cool just to sit there and look at it and just see stuff that you didn't know existed. She had figures. Everything. Star Trek, Black Hole, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, all kinds of stuff. All right, so he does have the gun up top. Ooh, that is articulated. There is a joint in that. Now I gotta look at the Hunter Predator again. Oh, there is a joint in that. Look at that. My bad, there is a joint in that gun. Okay, that makes it a lot cooler in my book now all of a sudden, because that is articulated. Sweet. All right. So it's not as articulated as the gun on the Hunter Predator, but it still has some movement. So kudos to that for that. Joints or elbows are a little. Oh yeah, this is gonna need some heat. I think. Well, we're gonna push it. No, it does not need heat. Still might recommend, if you're wary, if you're ever not sure, heat it up. Use a blow dryer, especially with stuff like this. These are very superficial paint apps. If you put it in boiling water to heat it up, you may lose some of your paint apps to that. Keep that in mind if you're heating your stuff up, that hot water can cause you paint fade. I made that mistake. I didn't know that, and I recommended that to somebody that was loosening joints on Iron Man 2 figures, and he got some paint loss from that, and he was pissed, and I don't blame him, because those were for his collection. They weren't for playing, they weren't for customizing, they were collectible for him. So he was piffed. So I don't blame him for that. All right, so regular shoulder joints, single jointed elbow. The gauntlet is, again, not sculpted on. It's a piece of removable arm. Well, I say removable, but really probably wouldn't remove it, but it's not glued to it, and it's not sculpted to the arm. Helmet is pretty nice. I like the tusks. Double jointed head, neck and head joint. Single joint in the elbows I mentioned. Let's see, torso articulation. It may actually be the same figure. I'm curious. I can't really tell. It may actually be the same figure, just with different paint apps and different. Yeah, if it is, they did a pretty good job of it. Well, I don't know. So yeah, it's difficult to tell if it's the same buck or not. The paint apps are different enough that makes it hard enough to tell. Definitely a different head, armor that's real soft, and skirting, and then trying to see if that's armor or sculpted on the legs. It looks like it's sculpted onto the legs. There's not armor on this one, so the lower legs are definitely different. Still a little tight in the hips, and then has that boot joint again for the ankles. You're not going to break that. And then double jointed knees, which are pretty wobbly. It's it's kind of hard. Do you get mad because it has wobbly joints, or do you be happy because you're not going to break those joints? Kind of 6 of one, but half a dozen of the other on that one. I'm probably going to be happy that I'm not going to be breaking joints. I don't know how well that's going to stand up to like decent play, though. I'll be curious to see if anybody has issues with these. If you're collecting these and are playing with them on a regular basis and have a problem with the knees, let me know. I'd be curious. Please sound off in the comments below. And then mention it on another video. Because, like I said, I'm probably not going to do a lot with these. They're going to go on a display, and that's probably the last that I'll fool with them, honestly. The hands, again, comes with a set of fists and a set of splayed hands. No other accessories, no weapons. I guess, does he really need them as within active camouflage? I mean, because the whole point is to be hidden. So, maybe not really, but it'd be cool to have translucent weapons at the same time. So I am going to knock him down for not at least throwing in either a spear, although those spears are really hard to store. They don't fit in my tackle box at all, and I got a bunch of them. So, or the like glaive, the circular throwing thing that they used in the Predator movie, the second Predator movie. That's about all I had for weapons, I think, that the other figures have come with. So, I don't know. Yes, no, sort of. Can't decide. Leave that up to you on whether you think they should have come with accessories or not. I would have liked to have had a couple translucent accessories just to have for display. Maybe not necessarily for playing features, but like I said, most of my collection is displayed, so I want it to look nice, and I think a translucent weapon would add to that. I mean, you know, the Jungle Hunter came with the translucent spine, which I think, and skull, which is pretty cool. So I think it could have come with some accessories. So I'm going to give him knock him down a point for that. Everything else seems fairly decent and stable on it. So there you are. That is the Scout Tracker. See, I can't keep them straight. Tracker, Falconer, an original or movie or Jungle Hunter Active Camouflage Predators. All in all, I think they're decent figures. I think the softer plastic is going to make them a lot easier to play with and release your fears of breaking them quite a bit. Watch the hip joints. I don't know how durable those are. Watch the knee joints. I don't know how durable those are. But all in all, I think they're awesome figures. If you're not a huge Predator fan, I think you could get away with just one. Get whichever one that you like the best, and that's probably enough. I'm actually going to consider canceling some pre-orders because I don't know if I need like half a dozen Active Camouflage Predators. I think that's about all I got for this video. So as always, thank you for watching. Please do all that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. And again, thank you for watching.